Hi, I am going to be reading a sneak peek to one of my new stories. Well, I guess it's not really new because I had this story for a while. I just never worked on it because I was doing other stories. But anyways, I'm going to be reading this little sneak peek. The story is called Lost Young Broken Superhero, Actually Villain by Isabella Marinilli. So, let's begin. Isla was on the other side of the world, still shaken up about what she ran away from. She had to run away as far as she possibly could. If she didn't, she would be locked up or killed. She chose to go to the other side of the world to make sure she won't run into anyone she knows. However, just in case, she adopted a disguise. Isla dyed her light blonde hair black and got long extensions that reached her waist. She always made sure to wear large shades and put on a whole face of makeup. This was very different from her formal attire. Before her life dramatically changed for the worse, she never cared about her appearance. She would always wear baggy, stained clothes because they were comfortable. She couldn't care less about dressing nice and would not be caught dead wearing makeup and heels. To finalize her new identity, she decided to change her name to Bella and got a new ID that lied about her age and other things. Isla, who will now be known as Bella, casually walked in the downtown area of the largest city she moved to when she suddenly felt a presence behind her. Before she knew it, she felt the tip of a gun on the left side of her head and was physically restrained by 6 large men. She looked up to make eye contact with one of them. "How much do you think Jonathan would pay to get you back?" asked the man in front of her as he placed a knife against her neck. Jonathan is an extremely wealthy 29-year-old self-made billionaire that Bella spent the night with a week after she moved to the city. He offered her a lot of money if she'd keep him company, and being in a position where she needed money to help kickstart her new life here, she agreed. It also helped that he was handsome. Although now it seems that unfortunate events are what followed that decision, Bella knew she had to act fast. She noticed that the guy restraining her arms from behind had a gun in his left pocket. She quickly tucked her head down away from the gun, the gun that was, not the one in the pocket, but like the one that was, being held against her head that I mentioned earlier. Okay, that's 2 guns here, and I know that's gonna get confusing. All right, while using her large pointed heel on her shoes to kick him in the groin, then proceeding to do a cartwheel. As she did this cartwheel, she used force and velocity of the move to kick the guy behind her with extreme force, sending him flying into a window of an abandoned graffiti-painted plaza. Bella now had the upper hand since she was now free and armed with a gun. The rest of the men began shooting at her, but she was way too quick to get hit. She then hid behind a metal dumpster and noticed a piece of pointed metal next to her, along with a cigarette lighter on the ground next to her. She grabbed the lighter and lit the piece of metal on fire, and then turned around and used the flaming piece of metal as a shield from the bullets. Bella ran towards one of the men and used the pointy side of the flaming metal piece to slice off the man's arm that was holding a gun, along with setting him on fire. She was able to shoot 2 other men. Unfortunately, one of the 2 remaining men was able to strike her hard from behind, sending her against a brick wall. As she was down, one of the 2 men attempted to stab her with a knife, but Bella was 1 step ahead and shot him in between the eyes before he got the chance. There was only one last man standing. He charged at Bella, attempting to take the gun out of her hand. Bella grabbed his arm and twisted it. The man's arm made a sick snapping sound before he collapsed on the ground, screaming in pain. Bella then walked towards the man until she was directly standing over him. She looked down at him, giving him a look as to say, "You made a big mistake," without actually saying it. They made eye contact, and Bella then pulled the trigger, killing him instantly. She had won this battle, although Bella wasn't all that surprised. After all, she was a fairly skilled fighter since she was a student at her local superhero school, which is coincidentally the best superhero school in the state. Besides, these were just average thugs hoping to have a payday of unlawful kidnapping. Unfortunately for them, average thugs stood no chance against anyone who trained at a superhero school, even if Bella was below average for the school standards. Bella began to walk away from the dead bodies when she heard a slow, ominous clap from behind her. She turned around to see a shadowy figure approaching her. It was the shadowy figure of a girl her age, wearing glow-in-the-dark shades. One shade had a glowing orange letter H on it, and the other had an I on it, spelling the greeting hi. Once she came closer, Bella could see that she had long, straight orange hair that has yellow and black highlights. The girl was wearing a tight orange-yellow jacket with black spikes. One side of the jacket was longer than the other. The shirt underneath her jacket was black with an orange painted flame skull that had devil horns, tight black leather-like leggings, and a black and orange electric guitar that had dangerously sharp edges and headstock that could very much be used as a weapon as much as it is a musical instrument. She gave Bella a mysterious smile and said hi. Suspicious of the girl, Bella grabbed the sharp piece of metal that she used to fight the would-be kidnappers and pointed it at the girl as a warning. "Don't get all defensive. I'm not going to hurt you. I am a friend," she said as the glowing orange words on her shade started to spell out the word friend. Still, Bella did not put down the dangerous metal piece. The manic, panic-haired girl simply laughed and removed her shades to reveal glowing yellow eyes that emitted small flames and sparks, as her guitar also did. Then she touched the metal piece, and it disintegrated into ash. Bella took a step back, with panic written all over her face. The girl had actual superpowers, like those you hear about in ancient myths and stories. In this world, actual superpowers that are physically a part of someone was unheard of. The superheroes and villains of this world aren't technically supernatural. They rely on elite warrior training, fighting style, and most importantly, their weapons contain great power. So technically in this world, anyone could be a superhero or villain if they had the right training and had access to a weapon that contained extraordinary powers and knew how to use it. The girl reached out her hand to greet Bella. "I'm Gemma. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. If I was, you'd be long gone by now," said Gemma. Bella asked what Gemma was saying made sense. Besides, if Bella ignored Gemma, she might get offended, and Bella didn't feel like upsetting someone with literal mythological superpowers was a good idea. Hesitantly, Bella shook Gemma's hand. Gemma's hand felt warmer than most people's hand, but it wasn't warm enough that her skin would turn red in pain. After the handshake was over and there was an awkward silence between the girls, Gemma then began to smile, eerily, with a large flaming smile that gave off firework sparks, and visuals of sharp teeth started forming behind her. "Want to see my spaceship?" Gemma asked with an echo in her voice. "Spaceship?" Bella asked in a confused tone, almost as if asking, "Did I hear that right?" Just then, Bella heard a strange noise in the sky. She looked up to see a giant black skull-shaped spaceship on fire. The entrance to the spaceship was the skull's mouth that casually opened and closed to make it appear like it's laughing. Bella gave Gemma a concerned and shocked look. Once the spaceship came closer down to them, it sucked them both into an adventure that will change Bella's life forever. All right, so that's my story. I know, imagination, but yeah, so that's this story will be coming out after I finish 2 other stories I'm working on. This is just like a sneak peek of what I'll eventually publish. Yeah, so let me know what you think. What's gonna happen to Bella? What did Bella run away from? And will this new adventure be a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So this is our main character when she was known as Isla before she ran away and got a new look and changed her identity. And this is how she looked after she changed her new look and got her new identity. So yeah, hope you like the story. It will be coming out. I just don't know when because I'm working on other stories, but it will be coming out.